You're going to be learning how to factor an expression that's in this form, so in standard form, but when a is equal to 1. So another way of writing 1x squared plus bx plus c, we don't actually have to write the 1 because 1 times x squared is just x squared, right? So you're learning how to factor. How do we know this is called a trinomial? Why is this called a trinomial? Yeah. Three different terms. Okay, so this is term 1, term 2, and term 3. So you're factoring trinomials in this form. So this was the example that was given, and they gave you the answer. We're just going to observe it to figure out why this works. In factored form, this was written as x plus 3 times x plus 4, right? We just did the opposite. We expanded it, and we got that as the answer. Compare the first term in each of the binomial factors to the first term in the trinomial. Okay, so let's do that. What's the first term in the binomial? And what's this term? What's the first term in the trinomial? How do you think they got that? X times x is equal to x squared, okay? Now compare the last terms in each of the binomials. So we have a positive 3 and we have a positive 4. Does anyone notice a pattern with, let's start with the last term here. We have a 3 and a 4, and the last term here was 12. How would you get 12 with 3 and 4? We would multiply. What about to get to the second term? How would you get to 7 if you had 3 and 4? You would add. So you just figured out the rule. So if I were to ask you to factor this, remember you're looking for two things that multiply together to give you the answer, right? Well, what would the first terms be? What do you think? X, right? Because x times x gives you x squared. So that's how you would get the first terms. If we were to go back and expand this, right? X times x is x squared. Think back to the example we just did. We're looking for two terms that do what? Multiply to give us what? So this is C, right? So two terms that multiply together to give us C, and two terms that add to give us B. They add up to give us B, right? Because in standard form, this A is 1, A x squared plus bx plus, this is C. So you're looking for two things that multiply together to give you 45. So it multiplies to 45 but adds up to 14. You can actually create a little chart, and they have a chart on your paper. And I like to do it like this. Multiply together to give me, multiply to give me positive 45, and it adds up to positive 14. So what are some factors? List the factors of 45. So what two numbers multiply together to give you 45? Well, you already said the answer, but let's just do another example. Let's do 1 and 45. If I were to add 1 plus 45, what does that equal? 40. So we know that this does not work because it has to add up to 14. 5 and 9, you said earlier. 5 times 9 is 45, so it multiplies to give me 45. And what is 5 plus 9? 14. Positive 14, so that works. So my answer is positive 5 and positive 9. That's factored form. That's it. For this example, the product is positive 12, but the sum is negative 8. So what are factors of positive 12? What times what gives you 12?
6 times 2.
So 3 and positive 4, yeah. What about negative 3 and negative 4? Does that equal positive 12?
Yeah.
Okay. What were some other factors? Positive 2 and positive 6. Negative 2 and negative 6 equals a positive. It doesn't matter which order. Yep. What about positive 1 and positive 12? Does that multiply to give you 12?
Yeah.
What about negative 1 and negative 12? Okay, add them up. What's 3 plus 4? What's negative 3 plus negative 4? Negative 7. What's 2 plus 6? What's negative 2 plus negative 6? 1 plus 12. Negative 1 plus negative 12. Which one of these products adds up to negative 8. Negative 2, negative 6. You could do this in your head. You don't have to write out this whole chart. Some of them are easier than others. So how would I write this in factored form? What's the first term?
X minus 2x.
X. And then our two terms are negative 2 and negative 6. Does it matter if I write negative 6, negative 2? No, it's the same thing. And you can check your answer. You can expand it. When we expand, when we FOIL, the original question should be, go back to this, right? Okay, so in this example, because A is not equal to 1, we want to remove a common factor. What's the greatest common factor? 3. Okay, this is what we did yesterday. So if I'm removing the 3, if I'm dividing everything by 3, in factored form it would be 3 times the result, right? Opposite of division is multiplication. So what's 3 divided by 3? I'm left with x squared plus, let's do 1x minus 6. Now is this a trinomial now in the form x squared plus bx plus c? Can you factor this now using product and sum? Okay, you guys factor that. So they have to multiply together to give us negative 6 and add up to positive 1. What are some factors of negative 6? What times what gives you negative 6? Negative 6 and positive 1? Okay, what else?
2 and 3.
Positive 2 and negative 3. What about negative 2 and positive 3? Right? All of these multiply to give us negative 6. Add them up. What's negative 6 plus 1?
Negative 5.
Okay, what's 2 plus negative 3? Negative 1. 2 take away 3 is negative 1. What's negative 2 plus 3?
1.
Which one is the answer?
Negative 2 and 3.
So how would I write this in factored form? Oops. X minus 2 and x. And we have to put the 3 in front because that's part of the expression. That was factored out already. So this is the answer in factored form. This is factored. Look here. This is factored, but this is fully factored. So on your quiz, I'm going to ask you to fully factor.